Welcome in, Rodeo fans. I'm your host, Cassie Soto. NFR at 3:45 is sponsored by the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, bringing you NASCAR and NHRA for more than 25 years. As you can see, things look a little different for NFR this time around because of COVID-19 restrictions. For the first time in 35 years, the Super Bowl of Rodeo will not be held at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas. Instead, the world's greatest cowboys and cowgirls will compete inside the brand new Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, home to the Texas Rangers. Well, even though the NFR is not in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Review-Journal is still planning to bring you daily special interviews. So let's go ahead and kick things off with Las Vegas Events President Pat Christenson himself. Pat, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day.
My pleasure.
All right, Pat. Well, I have to ask you, after 35 years of turning Las Vegas into a cowboy town, you've got cowboy boots up and down the Las Vegas Strip every month, every December, how hard was it to make the decision to move NFR out of Las Vegas, to be a part of that decision?
Well, it was, I guess the hardest part of it was just how unfortunate it was that we even had to do it. When it came down to making the decision, it wasn't an option. We were not going to be able to host the NFR with fans. And so it only made sense. And it was the right thing to do was, and I think what our board did was looked at the contestants and the downside of this for Rodeo. And it would have been catastrophic for them. So it was, it's just, like everything else that we're struggling with, it's just very, very unfortunate. But when it came down to it, if the PRCA was able to find a way to do this, then we were going to work with them.
Well, you mentioned the fans, Pat, and rodeo fans here in Las Vegas should not be too sad because Las Vegas's contract has been extended another year, keeping the NFR in Las Vegas at the Thomas & Mack Center through 2025. We know that this event brings an estimated $200 million into the local Las Vegas economy. Why was it so important to get that extra year added on to the end of this contract?
Well, again, I think it was the relationship and the good partnership we have with the PRCA in that it was a win-win. I mean, maybe a win-lose, but in the end, it was something that had to be done. And the fact that we are going to get another year and a year when we can bring everybody to town is a win for us.
So we know that the fans will be allowed here at Globe Life Field, about 15,000 or so daily attendance for NFR. What are some of the protocols in place to keep these fans safe, to make sure that their health is of utmost importance?
Well, the biggest thing is they're spread out in the stadium. I believe it's about a 35,000 seat stadium. And so 15,000. Plus you have the suites, which are really spread out. So I think that's the biggest thing is it's a very, very big building. You know, we were to put 15,000 in Thomas & Mack Center, it's packed. So now that'll be, I think that's the biggest thing. And masks, and all the protocol that, to me, the two biggest things are social distancing and the mask. If you do those two, then you're as safe as you can be.
All right. Well, I think what all Las Vegas rodeo fans here are thinking, Pat, is if this year's NFR is successful in Texas, what are the chances that the Lone Star State makes a bid come 2025 to keep NFR in Texas?
Well, again, any city can talk to the PRCA. We've done this for 35 years. We've had our challenges with keeping it in Vegas in the past, but what we do each year makes it more and more difficult for the PRCA to leave Las Vegas, and that is to build on this NFR experience. If you look at all of what someone can do in Vegas, the only reason, the event is one thing, but to just have the event and not to have 60 country acts, to not have Cowboy Christmas, to not have all of the events like the World Series of Team Roping, the barrel racing events, without all of that and just the Vegas experience, a city would have a very difficult time selling the tickets that we sell. So it really comes down to the economics of it for anyone. but anyone can, I'm sure there would be, I'm sure there'll be Texas cities that look at this and say, well, why not us?
Well, Pat, we wish you the best of luck this year. Thank you so much again for taking some time.
My pleasure.
Once again, that was Pat Christenson, president of Las Vegas Events. NFR at 345 is sponsored by the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, bringing you NASCAR and NHRA for the last 25 years. Be sure to join us daily at 345 as we will be bringing you special daily contestant interviews. You can find everything you need to know for this year's NFR at reviewjournal.com/NFR. We'll have special stories and daily highlight videos. Once again, that's reviewjournal.com/NFR. I'm your host, Cassie Soto. Thank you so much for watching.